Far beyond the stars, hidden in a valley of blue shadows, lived Nilo, a dragon without fire, without roar, without rage. Others lit the skies with thunder and flame. Nilo breathed silence. He felt the wind, the waiting, the space between heartbeats. They saw weakness. He held depth. He asked for nothing, gave everything. No flames, no glory, only stillness that stretched like time. And in that stillness something ancient stirred, quiet, vast, and patiently alive. He listened to what others ignored. The breath of clouds, the hum beneath still water, the quiet song of stars too far to name. While dragons boasted and clashed, Nilo drifted through thought. He was not slow, he was deep. He moved with care, not caution. His stillness was not absence, but presence held in peace, and while others forgot the old language of silence, Nilo remembered every letter. His body was calm. His spirit was vast. His silence spoke louder than flame. They never asked who he was, they only saw what he lacked. No fire, no roar, no spectacle, and so they passed him by. But Nilo did not need attention. He studied the shape of stillness, the pattern of wind through grass, the long curve of moonlight across open hills. His life was not small, it was slow and rich and sacred. He didn't shine like lightning, he glowed like dusk. And deep inside, something gentle waited for its time to rise, quiet as breath in sleep. One night, the stars above flickered with something new. Nilo looked up, sensing a shift. The silence grew warmer, deeper, not heavy, but full, like a message arriving without sound. It wasn't a call, and yet he felt called, not a voice, but a knowing, a kind of pull, soft and certain. He didn't rise. He didn't fly. He simply breathed. And that breath reached further than wings ever could. The world didn't shake. But somewhere in the dark something old began to open. There was no fire in the sky that night, only the hush of waiting. Nilo stayed still, but inside him ancient threads were weaving, not of power but of presence, of being what no one else dared to be, calm in a world that chased noise. Far below, people tossed in restless sleep. The stars watched gently, and Nilo, silent and unseen, began to breathe not for himself, but for them. His breath became shelter, his stillness a place where dreams could land and rest. He had never entered a village, never flown over roofs or looked through windows, yet that night something guided him. Not wind, not will, but quiet purpose. He moved without rush, without plan. His presence arrived like fog, soft, unnoticed, and everywhere at once. Below him, sleepless eyes blinked at ceilings, hearts heavy with thoughts. Nilo did not speak. He didn't need to. His silence filled the cracks. He hovered above the world, and the world slowly exhaled. No one saw the dragon above them. No scales glinted, no wings stirred the air. And yet rooms grew warmer. Children turned in their sleep, curling gently as if wrapped in something safe. Nilo's quiet wasn't empty. It carried memory, kindness, space. He didn't enter homes, he entered feelings. A calm that had been forgotten, a pause too long denied. And with every breath he gave, the night softened. Not one person knew why, but peace returned like an old friend. Far beyond the noise of what dragons should be, Nilo was becoming what no one imagined, not feared, not praised, simply present. In that presence, dreams flowed freely again. The world, so used to shouting, finally listened to stillness, and in stillness, it remembered itself. Nilo did not glow, he did not rise, he simply remained, a shape of breath, a rhythm of calm, and somewhere in that silent sky, the meaning of gentleness unfolded, soft, complete, and true. Nilo didn't leave marks on the earth, no ashes, no trails, no broken things. His legacy was lighter. A night that felt safer, a dream that stayed longer, a morning that began with ease. He asked for no name, carved no story in stone, and yet something in the world shifted, barely seen but deeply felt. He wasn't fire or storm or skybreaker. He was the breath you forget you're breathing, steady, invisible, and essential. He was the silence that heals. The stars spoke to him in ways beyond sound. They blinked in slow patterns, telling him he was enough, not because he dazzled, but because he remained. His gift was not to awaken the world with force, but to remind it how to sleep again, to soften, to surrender. Others had wings of rage. Nilo had wings of stillness, and in that stillness the sky grew deeper, the night more kind. He gave no fire, only the warmth of being understood without a single word. Some say power changes everything, but Nilo knew presence could change more, presence without demand, without noise, without need, just the fullness of being where others hurried past. His breath became a place, a pause, a pocket of calm in a frantic world. He flew unseen across the hours, and people dreamed truer, slept softer. He didn't chase fate or rewrite stars, he simply became part of the silence, and the silence became something better because of him. He was not remembered in stories, no songs bore his name, yet every so often a child would say, "I felt safe last night," without knowing why. A village would wake lighter, a heart would beat slower, steadier, and somewhere in the dark, the memory of Nilo passed through again, not as image, not as legend, but as feeling. He didn't leave behind fire or fear, he left breath, stillness, and a knowing that gentleness, though quiet, can echo forever. There were dragons made to conquer and dragons made to burn, but Nilo was made to stay, to hold space, to remind the world that not all strength shouts, some strength listens, some strength waits. His stillness was never absence, it was deep presence, a kind of magic that asked for nothing yet gave everything. In every quiet sky his breath remained, not as smoke, not as flame, but as rhythm, as peace, as the forgotten heartbeat of the night itself. He never needed to be seen, the stars saw him, the wind carried him, the dreams he touched returned softer. What Nilo gave had no name, no sound, no edge, it simply was, and that was enough. Some dragons light fires, Nilo lit the moment before sleep, the hush that holds the world. In a sky filled with thunder he was the space between, a space not empty but full of quiet truths, the kind you only hear when everything else becomes still. Nilo remained even when unseen, not as a shadow but as presence. He didn't fade, he unfolded, like breath at night. You won't find him in books. But when sleep feels safe, or peace fills your chest without reason, that's him. Not loud, not gone, just always there, a quiet promise held by the sky. Nilo changed the world. He listened, soothed, stayed. If his quiet touched you, subscribe for more bedtime stories. Soon a full Nilo book will arrive. Interested? Comment below which language you'd love to read it in.